Alright, so we're going to start, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some Windows 8 gaming. This is on a desktop. What we've got running here is an x79 UD3 from Gigabyte with our Core i7, and we also have a 5870 from Asus. It's the 5870 version 2 Stalker Edition. We have 16 gigabytes of Kingston memory. We're running the customer preview of Windows 8 x64, and we've loaded up a few games. We have The Darkness 2, we have Far Cry 2, Crysis 2, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Bioshock 2, and Medal of Honor, as well as Skyrim. And we're going to go ahead and take a look and see exactly how these run, how they operate from the desktop, how they operate from the old Windows desktop, and actually from the start menu. So we're going to go ahead and get things started, and we'll kick it off with opening up. Well, first we want to go ahead and start up Fraps so you guys can get an idea of what the frame rate is like. Whenever you start a program that's not specifically designed for the start menu UI, what you're going to get is it's going to pop you over to the desktop menu, and you're going to see that it'll pop up over here. So we have our Fraps going on. We have all of that. In order to get back, all you have to do is come down here and just click Start, and it's going to put you right back on the start menu. So we'll go ahead and open up Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. That's going to pop up, no problems there. You can hear we got good sound coming from it, and we actually have good playability. So we're going to get in here and we'll get through a lot of this stuff. We've already tested some of these out just to see what we've gotten. And let me turn that volume down. So we're actually running that through our Tech-On Model 55 tube amplifier that we have plugged directly into the audio card with the Dolby audio installed. It did take a little bit of working to get that installed, but now that we have that, you can hear that it does provide good audio.
It's a losing fight. We cannot lose New York.
Of course, the fact that you're pushing it through an actual tube amplifier with a couple of Burr Brown digital to analog converters and some excellent circuitry here is going to give you just that extra punch behind it. So we'll get through there. As you can see, we got good frame rates here, 40 frames per second. It's more than enough. The gameplay is very smooth. Our minimum frame rate, we did some checking on it, is about 37. So it's going to give you full frame rate gameplay. You're not going to have any problems. There is a little bit of tearing coming through here. We're not sure if that's the experimental drivers. You know, these are kind of beta drivers that AMD has put out for Windows 8 right now. They're not the full thing. So it could be part of that. We do not have VSync enabled. We found it made the frame rates a little bit too slow, and we noticed some stuttering and staggering. But you can see you're still going to get some good gameplay here. So we'll go ahead and we'll back out of that game. And once we do this, we should go right back to the desktop, which is exactly where we did. And one of the things we noticed, we're going to jump around here. We do have them in order. But we're going to go ahead and jump ahead real quick to the two games that we had the most problems with. First one is Bioshock. We open it up, this is what we get. We have not found any method online or through any of our conversations that have been able to get beyond this. We've tried copying this file over. It doesn't work. There's something about this that's looking for the Windows Live games that is just not operational. It's not allowing it to boot up. It's not allowing it to get into that function so that you can run that executable in the background to start Bioshock 2. So Bioshock 2 is just not going to work for you. The next one that we had a big problem with was The Darkness 2. So we went ahead, and when we get this installed, we got everything running. We did have an issue. We had to upgrade our version of Fraps, but there's no audio. The game pops up. It looks like everything's running. You can hear our power supply on our graphics card going to overdrive to try and get everything going, but there's just no sound. So under Windows 8, it doesn't see the sound card, even though it is installed and it's set up properly. As you heard we had audio in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So this one again is another one that we haven't found any method of getting around. We've tried uninstalling the game, reinstalling it, installing some of the modules in compatibility mode to see if they'll actually allow it to identify the audio card, but they won't. So unfortunately, Bioshock and The Darkness 2 are not quite ready for Windows 8, at least not the 64-bit version. We haven't tried this on the 32-bit version. We know Microsoft is pushing towards the 64-bit version. So now we'll take a look here at Crysis 2. Get things going. Of course, you have the long intro where you have to stare at the eye. There we go. As you can see, we have we have good audio here. So we'll go ahead and turn that down again. and get in. Past all of the fun stuff that they force you to watch now without any method of skipping through it. Alright, so go ahead and resume the game here. Takes a little bit to get loaded up, but we have, you are going to get it running. So here you can see and you can hear our GPU kind of kicking up. Pick up some grenades. You can take a look in the top. We're getting a good frame rate. 50 frames per second is pretty good. So, which we're getting kind of having our ass handed to us here. Like I said, you can see that you're just going to get some good, you can get good gameplay out of Windows 8, depending on the game that you choose. And of course you can hear that unlike what we had with the other system, we are getting good audio. Alright, so that wraps it up for what we get with Crysis 2. So you can see, so far, you're going to get a good gaming experience. Far Cry 2, we would get into this one. We'll just go ahead and kick it up to show you that it does start, and we'll go through some of the intro screen. It's probably the longest intro I've ever seen in my entire life, and there's no real way to get around it on your first try. It takes a little bit longer to start a lot of these games than we see with Windows 7. A couple of seconds, probably 3 or 4 seconds longer. We're used to it coming up and actually getting past all of this much faster. We've also noticed that a lot of the keys that used to let you escape some of these openings just don't do it anymore. So here we'll show you getting into it. We did notice that on some games, depending upon what the engine are, we don't always get the Fraps frame rate display. You'll notice that here, even though we had it in our other game, it's gone now.
It's lucky for you, but no.
So you see, we get good audio, but unfortunately, we're just not going to go through this entire intro here just to get to the gameplay. So we'll go ahead and kick out of this, and we'll take a look at our last game. We will take a look at that. Well, actually, we'll look at Skyrim here real quick. Skyrim is another one we had good results with, and we're able to get through. We didn't have any issues with it. So, unfortunately, this is another one we didn't go all the way through. But the graphical quality was good, and the gameplay was very good. Again, very long intros. And then, of course, the final one is going to be Medal of Honor. Go ahead and get everything set up here. Alright. So your quality is going to be high on everything. Anti-aliasing is going to be on. And we'll go ahead and save that. Make sure it saved our resolution. Yep, okay. So we'll go back and we'll go ahead and start off the game. See, the game is very smooth. You get good gameplay. Sorry, I got a little involved in there. All right, sorry about that. So you can see the game is actually pretty tight. You know, it's got all the same feel to it. There's no lag, there's no stuttering, there's nothing that would indicate that Windows 8 is not going to be a good solid gaming platform. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get you some of the information about how Far Cry and Skyrim actually plays. We're going to get through some of those intros, and remember to save the game so that we can get inside of it and show you exactly what it's like inside there. We'll do that in a second segment when we also load up our desktop with some of the other items that you would see on a typical desktop, such as Office and again other things like that. And we'll just take a look and see how it runs on the desktop. The biggest thing I can say is that if you are going to use this on a desktop, this is the screen you're going to spend the most of your time with, especially with the current program features out there and the current programs that most people would want to install on Windows 8. I don't see many people sticking to the Metro interface. It's not bad looking, it looks kind of neat when you first pull it up, but as you can see on a 1920 by 1080 screen, everything looks kind of squashed in there. It's not a clean looking interface on a larger desktop screen, and this is what your average gamer is going to have. You're not going to have something where somebody's going to have a 15-inch screen or something smaller like that. So this just reinforces what we said before. The Metro UI, although it's starting to grow on us, it's still not there, and we believe that Microsoft is going to have a hard sell trying to get people to actually pick this up and change to this as far as their startup interface for what they're used to from Windows, when 99% of the people out there, especially for the desktop, are going to want this. They're going to want to do this, they're going to want this is the way that they're going to want to see their desktop. And the fact that they've actually taken away the start menu is going to bother some people. Fortunately, you can right click and get to almost anywhere you want. It's just not going to be the same thing where you click over here and there's all of your programs. You can still drag them down here and pin them to the taskbar, which is nice, but it's just not as convenient as if you were to open up the old-fashioned start menu and have all your programs listed right there in a nice and organized manner. Microsoft really wants you to get back to using this screen, which, as you can see, not everything pops up. We had to pin some of these here, such as our shortcut for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It didn't pop up immediately, didn't throw itself on the desktop. Most of these were actually pinned by us, and not all of them actually will load straight from this interface. We've had some issues launching. Medal of Honor didn't want to immediately come up when we first ran it. We had to change the pointer because where it was looking was not the right place. So just one of those things to bear in mind. We are going to continue to do some additional testing. We're also going to try this out with an NVIDIA GPU, more than likely a 470, a GTX 470. We'll get that in here, get it set up, and then run some tests with the same games. We'll also have for you some of the actual frame rates that we saw, the minimum, the maximums, as well as the average frame rates, and we'll get those out to you as well. So that wraps up our, kind of just getting our feet wet into Windows 8 gaming, and we hope to provide you some more input, and some more information on how Windows 8 is going to affect you when it comes out in Q4 of this year.